Racer babysit well while I was gone. That's good. All right, Naya tokens. This shell is interesting. So Llanowar Elves is one of the best cards in this format, I think. And being able to just basically play 2 lands on in turn 1 is incredibly powerful. So we have Llanowar Elves alongside with some really good 3-drops, both History of Benalia and Legion Warboss. And then we also have some good 4s, like Heroic Reinforcements is quite powerful in a token shell. One card I saw chat discussing is Huatli Radiant Champion. I agree with you that I'm not sure if this card's very reasonable. So it says here, target creature gets +X/+X for X the number of creatures you control. However, she ults very quickly. This is a card that probably ults the turn after we play her in some situations, which doesn't seem unreasonable. She makes all of your other creatures draw cards after they come into play, so I think this seems pretty okay as a core. I think I touched up the sideboard. Did I not touch up the sideboard? There's no Baffling Ends in this deck, are there? Zero Baffling Ends. Well, this is when a creature enters play under your control. So, like, History and Legion Warboss trigger it. There's a lot of anti-control in this sideboard. I'll put 4 Baffling Ends in. I think playing white and not playing a bunch of Baffling Ends right now is a bit of a mistake. I'm going to cut the Tajiks, and I'm going to cut the Conclave Tribunals. From Oculus, what's going on, Bob? Hope you're having a good Friday and a good start to your weekend. Let's dive on in, shall we? Seems good. The amount of tokens is Conclave not good. This looks like a list that could double spell a decent amount of time. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I try not to change up the main decks a whole heck of a lot if I can avoid it. So, like, it looks like the main deck's basically just trying to linear people, which maybe that's not good enough, but we're going to give it a try. Yeah, use whatever emails from Twitch itself is associated with your Twitch account, Zach. So there isn't a direct link like other Discords. Discord has integration with Twitch. You need to link your accounts up to pop on in there. Following the directions here. Awkward. And this is a problem. So we had Emmara, a bunch of Emmaras in the Abzan hero deck, and we quickly cut down on her just because there's a lot of situations like this in the format where it's just like, well, she can't attack and really do anything. That being said, looking at how this board's developing up here, this is a turn where we could realistically alt Huatli the turn after we play it, like we were talking about, right? Like, if I hit a land and play Huatli next turn, her +1's gonna put her to 9. Yeah, I think that's not unreasonable without, although I guess they have this Conclave Tribunal looming overhead, so it's like, does that really matter? Did you make dinner and reservations for a 5-month anniversary? What's going on, PCV? Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Help to lose to you. Get that out of here.
This Conclave Tribunal is just like looming over my head. So I think because...
If I'm this song's hero, what does that from the will of many, the might of one?
I think I need to just kill this, so let's give this a go. Wow, are they jumping all of these and then trading off? That seems good for me. Yeah, I'm interested to see, so the aggressive bid rate problems that we mentioned before, this is a card that could potentially address some of that aggressive bid rate problem when I think about it, just because this is a card that generates a lot of card advantage, right? So it has the potential to, like, let us push through board states we otherwise wouldn't be able to push through. Good luck, dumping truck. Remember, have fun. It's just like Magic everywhere else. The Tristani Shuffle is quite the ritual. We Conclave Tribunaling my Huatli. Huatli? So I'm gonna have to throw away a 2-2 and a 1-1, but I can kill Vivian this turn. That seems worthwhile.
Every defeat is a new beginning.
And then we hit the problem these decks often hit against Sultai here, which is we're almost at parity or maybe a little bit ahead, but they've got this Hydroid Crisis looming that's just going to bury us deep in the ground. I guess we're going wide enough that if I hit a Heroic Reinforcements, we could maybe punch through. Nice, Soul Controller. Well, welcome to the Hooglandia Discord community. We do not run Flower Flourish, but we do run Heroic Reinforcements. That's what Heroic Reinforcements does, Dallas Sooner. And Heroic Reinforcements is a little bit better on its own, and it's less expensive to use to punch through. Swift Blade Vindicator plus Huatli. That sounds hot. I'm gonna go ahead and force the flip here. So that way I can activate this and play it out. This gives me my 6th mana for next turn too. So I can play this, and if I draw Heroic Reinforcements next turn, I can go Migration into Reinforcements, then Mathis for blockers, and hopefully it's good enough. Oh. Oh, that's actually kind of okay, huh? I have lifelink tokens. The general channel on the subs Discord. Am I getting Disdainful Stroked? Main deck negate. Woof. Alright, well, we're on the 0 outer and we just didn't know it. Otherwise, we would have gained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. God, we'd have gained 10. That was actually really close. Game one negates a little savage. It really does, right? This is how I feel about your Nexus deck. I think Legion Warboss is probably kind of mediocre in a matchup like this. I think I don't mind Ajani. I don't mind Huatli. I think I want Baffling End. Let's give this a try. Man, I think we might have stolen that back if I'd have gotten to gain 10 there. Oh, Knight of Autumn for Conclave. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. That should probably be in my deck. Never thought after 30 months here I'd be enjoying Standard, but shows what great formats and a fantastic streamer could do. Thanks for the 2.5 years, Speedhead. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. There actually is a... Tempo Storm does have pink jerseys. I think they call them Bubblegum. Alright, so Sand wants to draw lands for the next 2 to 3 turns. Perfect. Nathan, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate it. So, we've been in sub-only chat since Monday, Bob. And we've had to time out one person, not ironically, in that time. So, like, in 30 plus hours of being live, there was one person that had to get, please don't do that. Which it's staggering, right? Alright, so I just reinforcements and beep beep, right? Figure it out. I do love me the card heroic reinforcements. Hey, look, they're still alive. They did apologize afterwards, didn't they? Alright, I want these Knights of Autumn. I think these Instigators are probably a little bit clunky on the draw. Yeah, reinforcements is real good for sure. Yeah, it's from a Baffling End. Yeah, maybe this is a little slow on the draw. Those creatures can't block this turn. I guess that's kind of sweet. Do we think Ajani or Warrior Poet's better here? I think I want these other two Baffling Ends in the draw. Do I want Ajani or Warrior Poet? Warrior Poet for the memes. This is pretty good with Growth Chamber Guardian and History of Benalia. I'm gonna leave this in because it's a powerful 4. I think having our curve be lower on the draw is important. Getting Instigator back with Ajani is a reason to take out Saproling instead. Yeah, that's fair. We're probably not kicking the Saproling very often. Although the Instigator's a little bit harder to cast, but not by that much. That's probably a fair critique. It is unfortunate that we have Stomping Ground and not Temple Garden, so we can't turn to History of Benalia off this elf, but still seems fine. I need a hero Do 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 do. Alright, chat. They do have Lyra on top of their deck, which is kind of scary. Do I have any way to kill Lyra in my deck right now? I don't, do I? I wonder if there should be some Collision Colossus in the 75. It's good with Huatli's minus. Alright, so we're hoping they don't have another white source then. If they have a white source, we're gonna have to go real wide around this Lyra. Yeah, I agree, Marty. Completely agree. Alright, so... I should just heroic into heroic, right? Not close. Yeah, I think it's not close. Alright. They are missing their white source here at least. Get you later, Marty. See you on Discord. Incubation Druid's another white source. Alright, do you have another counterspell? They left a, oh, they don't have blue mana up. An Incubation Druid summoning sick, they just cast it. So I'm attacking for 18 here. So they need to throw some blockers down. They have to block at least a 5/5. And they can go kind of low on their health total, honestly, because they have this Lyra. Oh, wow. Yep. We don't actually have that many creatures. So, like, Harpooner versus... I think Harpooner is much worse than Collision. Like, even here, right? Just, like, 0, it's like turn 5 and there's no creatures in my bin. I think I'd much rather have Collision, especially because of its synergy with Huatli. They have another Emmara. Yeah, it's possible that with how many creatures we play, just having a Conclave Tribunal is better. We talked about that earlier too. Collision Colossus does still not seem unreasonable, but
Would you like to see what's left? This is nothing.
one reinforcements, please.
I am proud to fight your capable.
And like worth noting, if I did have Conclave Tribunal in my deck, we wouldn't have drawn it here because like there's 4 Baffling Ends in, so like Conclave Tribunals would probably be where the Baffling Ends are right now. I don't think it matters. I think we're gonna come up short here.
No one knows the why.
Yeah, that darn main deck negate game one. It really got us. Good solid tech from them. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Yeah, Colossus is sweet with the Huatli +X+X. Sure, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot of different situational cards we can play, Squeeb. That is a lot of ramp on the play. Yeah, I agree. Negate's a pretty fantastic card. A lot of the control decks I've been playing even have like one in the main. Like you said, it has text in basically every matchup, right? Even the aggressive decks in this format tend to have a lot of spells in them, or non-creature spells in them. Yeah, maybe they don't have a payoff. That would be the ideals for us here, right? That there's just no payoff. Watch them have like a 6 or 7 mana payoff. Okay. What dinosaurs await me in my future? Is a comma incoming? Gonna get all of these into play, so hopefully we can open up a red source next turn and play the heroic reinforcements. And if we don't, we'll play Huatli and plus her up towards alt. No good attacks. Why, do they just genuinely not have a payoff? Seems like that might be the case. All of the really scary dinosaurs from this position have white mana in them, right? Like none of the green dinos really matter. I guess Galta's kind of scary as a 12/12. The dino that enraged, yeah, Polyraptor or whatever it's called, could be bad scene for us. Electro Dominance, hit us for 5, sure. Alright.
My strength is our strength. The audience, the better.
Alright, sure. Triggers. They're like trying to figure out if my Planeswalker's worth killing. They hit double lands with the Primal Storm. Awkward. Double block here, I think.
Strength is our strength.
don't know. You figure it out. Yeah, some kind of trampler effect would be really silly with Huatli. And like, an effect like Collision Colossus is just like a playable card outside of Huatli is probably most reasonable. Alright, they survived. If the Primal Storm does something crazy, maybe they have a shot. Hey, Soul Controller, thanks for the tip. Let's start a pink Tempo Storm jersey fund for Jeff. I could probably get one of those taken care of. Gonna go ahead and take 6 here. Well, you know. We have drawn a lot of cards, I suppose. Oh, I could have ulted again. 27 counters on the Planeswalker. Is that a record? I feel like that's a record. It's got to be close. Clicks a bit. Yeah, there should definitely be Conclave Tribunals on the board. Maybe even some in the main deck. What's going on, awesome dude? I think something like Street Riot isn't quite good enough. I think we'd rather focus on cards like Heroic Reinforcements or Flower Flourish that are cards that can make our entire team bigger, but also have some utility when we don't need to be doing that. Whereas, like, a card like Street Riot only does one thing, so if you don't need that thing to be happening, it doesn't do much for you. Cards like Heroic Reinforcements that have a little bit of utility with them are ideal, I think. Unbreakable Formation. That card might be good. That could be a card that it lets you punch through stalled boards really nice and gives you attacks when attacks would otherwise be terrible. I think something like Unbreakable Formation is probably better than Cavalcade. Alright, let's History of Benalia. And then next turn we'll Heroic Reinforcements. Beep, beep. Do I reinforcement next turn, or do I give him a double history lesson? Just went infinite party bus on an Nexus deck. That's great. Come on, bring the 5/5. You didn't bring the 5/5. All right, I'm gonna make more knights then. I have a big scary 5/5, chat. Make sure auto order triggered abilities is not on, so I can stack my things so my new knight token gets the bump. So long as they don't play like Fiery Cannonade this turn, we should be in an okay spot. Sure. Declan would be very upset. Alright, so we want to make the 2/2 before we give them +1/+1 because this Heroic Reinforcements is going to pump the new 2/2. Or we're going to give the new Knight haste. Unsure if this is lethal. Let me know. What is Infinite Party Bus you speak of? It's a Mardu Lumbering Battlement deck, which is quite silly. It's definitely going to be the deck of the day. It was a lot of fun. We never went infinite with it on stream, but it definitely can do that. Poor little charging dino. He's all alone. There's no one here beside him. Do 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 do. How you doing, folks? Welcome. My friends having a great start to your weekend. Happy Friday. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're a new viewer, thanks for dropping by. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic Monday through Friday from 8 till about 3 or 4 o'clock cornfield time here in the central United States. If you are new, make sure you drop a follow to get notifications on when I go live and with what? How does a renal handle going infinite? You have to click through it. You click through it and hope you don't time out. This hand's sweet. Turn 1 elf, turn 2 history, turn 3 Huatli. I don't know the logistics of the sub timings. Man, we are gonna get spell pierce and just be incredibly sad. Don't you want spell pierce? 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 We didn't get spell pierce. Look at that! Look at that! The knights are here, chat. The knights are here. Rude. Rude. Thankfully, the voice of plenty shall bear witness overall. We have to shock down to 12. That's an appealing one for later. That knight needs a lesson on what happens to people who betray Benalia. Alright, no tricky dick is a good start for us. I assume we're gonna see them throw something away here so they don't lose Curious Obsession. Shalai, voice of enough. Stop it!
My strength is our strength.
My strength is our strength. Smush! Smush! Oh, they have a dive down. Okay. No, it's just any creature. Just any creature. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Alright, where is this Tempest Shin going? At my dome. If they don't have a counter spell, I'm gonna get to hit for a lot of lifelink this turn. I'm gonna do this to play around Spell Pierce. Main deck negate. That's unfortunate. Maybe I'm not supposed to shock there.
From the will of many, the might of one.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things over here. So that means they're going to be able to turn this into a 6/6 next turn. If they hadn't negated us there, this would have hit for 3 more, and the rest of my board would have come crunching in as well. Or do they don't have a land? Out of curiosity, why no articles /February? The same reason I'm scaling back some of the insane hours that I've been doing here on stream to more realistic work hours. I just had too many 80, 90-hour work weeks in a row. So I'm doing slightly less. That attack doesn't really make sense into my 3/4. I guess they guaranteed want to hit with Temptation. O-Town, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one. I don't know, Bob. There's a lot of hours in the week. A lot of hours in the week. Alright, so let's do this on my lifelinker.
Of many, the might of one.
And then I can attack with all of these and flip my legions landing over. Did we not realize I could do this, or is their last card dive down? I think they might have thrown here. I think the fact that they just threw away Terramander means they're gonna get got. Huatli on the lifelink token's been kinda busted. Hey, O-Town, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Is it St. Patty's Day already, or is that this weekend?
My followers will not be pleased.
Sunday, it's Sunday. Okay. Yeah, wow. We kind of stole that one. I feel like if my opponent had played a little bit tighter, made a couple of different decisions, they maybe would have come out on top. We were very fortunate to have drawn our one main deck copy of Shalai. She came down and did some blocking and, like, took the game and, like, firmly ran away with it. I think Knight for Obsession is too narrow. I think Knight's better than Cindervines, but I don't think I want any of that effect. My main question here is, how much of this top end do I want? Like, I get that Huatli was good there, but is she worse than Heroic Reinforcements on average for, like, punching through and going wide around them? I think she might be. I definitely want all my Baffling Ends here. So, like, what of my 4-drops do I want to cut, basically? I think it's Huatli, because if I don't hit a lifelink token, she gets a lot worse. She just doesn't really help me race sufficiently if they have just any jump blockers. I actually think Emmara is very good here, Sunshine, because my opponent often doesn't have blockers that she can't attack into, and she adds pressure to the table every time she attacks. This is an excellent poker hand. Unfortunately, it's a terrible Magic the Gathering hand, so let's go ahead and mulligan this. It's like not good, but it's probably in the range of keepable. The threshold for keepable gets lower when it has all your colors in it in a 3-color deck. History of Benalia is a good pickup here. Do they have a Merfolk Trickster? They might have a Merfolk Trickster. I'm just going to go ahead and Saproling Migration. Really good draws for us so far. I'm playing my Saproling Migration pre-combat, because if they counter the migration, it's then safe for me to attack with my 1/1. Whereas if they don't counter the migration, I don't want to attack, because then it's possible to get Merfolk Trickstered. Same deal as last time. Spell pre-combat. If they play a counter spell, then able to attack in with my 1/1. Feels bad to be getting countered, but at the same time, they haven't put any pressure into play, so if we rip a couple of decent threats here, we could maybe be fine. That was not the spell we were looking for. Gosh, I talked about playing around the Merfolk Trickster potentially a couple of times. Yikes. Yeah, maybe that's true, Frags Marty. Doesn't look like it really matters. PDGH, thanks for the Prime support. Thanks for tripping your Basil Bucks this way. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Yeah, maybe Marty's right and I should attack first to bait the Trickster to stick my spell. Maybe that is better. Fine, I guess. I get to play this on 1, which lets me Migration plus Legion's Landing on 2, and then, like, hopefully I draw spells that do stuff afterwards. I am getting on the board very quickly here. Yeah, the interactive overlay is quite fantastic. It's called Deckmaster is the extension. It's a Twitch tool / desktop application that sends information from my computer up to the screen so you can mouse over the cards as we play them. Transing Melody's rude. I guess. Wow, that's a pretty good draw.
My strength is our strength.
Yeah, they did Melody our Vampire token. I guess they were worried about falling behind in the face of Legion's Landing. Flipped landing plus Huatli emblem is kind of insane. And I'm just going to let Huatli take this hit here because I want to attack with 3 creatures next turn and flip my Legion's Landing. This, like, reads pay 4, draw a card, make a token. And they Curious Obsession, they're scared of her, so, like, huh. Alright, up to 10. Your move, Yugi boys. This is all we got. Could we have attacked with 3 this turn, though? Oh, you're right. I could have attacked with 3, flipped the Adanto, and then played the Huatli off the flipped Adanto. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a good thing to point out, Wolf. So the turn I played the Huatli, I could have attacked first and then done this. It's really interesting. Are these just all attacking me? Yeah, deal. It's really interesting that... What's the word that I'm searching for? It's interesting that Adanto plus Llanowar Elves kind of gives this deck 8 ramp cards in a way, which is neat. I mean, I'm not staying home in protest. I just have no reason to go to PAX East. PAX isn't the type of thing I'd normally spend time going to.
Let me tell you of your defeat.
The only real convention thing I ever really go to is my wife and I go to Gen Con every summer usually for the last few years. It must be the first time I get a line in these 2 years. It's bound to happen eventually, right? I don't know what Gen Con is. Let me do my Googles. It is the largest board gaming convention in the United States. Maybe the world. Definitely the United States. Happens in Indianapolis every year. I assume my Huatli's dying this turn. How many people attend SN? Favorite board games? We've got a lot of good favorites. This is a picture of some of my favorites that we play with some regularity. One heroic reinforcements, please. Alright, that draws 2 cards. One heroic reinforcements, please. This emblem's a lot of fun. As someone who enjoys drawing Magic the Gathering cards, 190,000, good golly. That is a lot of people. As someone who is a fan of drawing the magical cards, this emblem is something I can get behind. Sagrada's a good one too. That's the dice drafting game, right? My wife and I have played a good bit of that one. Sagrada's one of the few board games that plays well with 2 people. Yeah, I like how the history's just like, no, I'm over here. I'm huge and I'm important. There hasn't been a Tristani played and we keep doing the dance back and forth. Yeah, who's the card draw deck now, opponent? Yeah, it's a dice drafting game. No, come back! I want to play another one! I want to play another one! Why do you hate fun, opponent? What did fun ever do to you? I wanted to put all my creatures in my Naya car and beep beep run you over. Beep beep. Beep beep. Huatli's a good old time. Man, I really love all these random planeswalkers. This new set's gonna be sweet. If we can just like take all of the Nexus of Fate players and Wilderness Reclamation players and like put them in their own queue where the rest of us just like play with sweet planeswalkers all day, that would be great. Maybe they'll give us a queue on Arena where like you have to have like at least 8 planeswalkers in your deck to play it. That sounds great. We'll play the crap out of that. Huatli's motor car. Divest. That's fine. We were going to fart this Growth Chamber Guardian next turn anyways. Hey, Z-Man. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good Friday and a great start to your weekend. Welcome, welcome. No, I think Splinter Twin's fine. So again, I would just like to highlight the issue with Wilderness Reclamation and Nexus of Fate especially is the uncertainty. It's the, if you're a competitive player, it's technically correct to sit there and wait 2, 5, 10 minutes while they figure out if they're fully gonna combo and kill you or not. That's the part I take issue with Nexus of Fate. Splinter Twin is great. Splinter Twin, as soon as they twin you, you're dead and you go to the next game. It's the uncertainty element that, in my opinion, makes Nexus of Fate a rancid gameplay experience. You got a fart in me, do-do-do-do. We're just Simic. All the time we are the Wet Farts Guild. Doing time and making more crab people. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, so you're basically forced to make the decision against Nexus of Fate whether or not you have to choose between being competitive. You have to choose between being competitive and wasting your time, basically. That's the big issue. Well, welcome to the club, Z-Man. Thanks for the support. Yeah, so we'd been playing in the events rather than the unranked queue because the deck quality had been better in the events, but we've hit a lot of starter decks today, and we're 2-1 right now. The anecdotal evidence is definitely indicating the events are worse deck quality than playing in Mythic on average. Of course, we also played against a bunch of Reclamation decks in here earlier, so the range seems pretty wide. Do you have Lakaia's Wrath or something, or are we all done here? I don't really know what our opponent's doing. I'm going to cut the Emmaras because it looked like they had cheaper creatures. If I had Conclave Tribunals, I'd bring them in. I probably want that card here. Someone asked about bringing this deck into the rank queue. I think part of the success that we're having with this deck is due to, like, I know we beat, like, actual factual mono blue, but the other deck that we beat so far was also not exactly a tiered deck. I don't know that this deck's necessarily, like, aggressive enough to want to play against, like, you know, things like Nexus of Fate and stuff of that nature. Which deck do I like better? Temur, Domri, or Abzan Hero? I feel like the Abzan Hero deck gives me more agency as a player. It's a deck that has more interaction in it rather than just, like, trying to slam people with creatures. So, I think I personally prefer the Abzan deck because it does still have some aggressive draws, but it has a little bit more play to it. Them attacking with the Knight of Malice is really good here, because it lets us get Legion Warboss going a little bit. Alright, let's just, like, put all these into play. These tokens here let me go ahead and flip my Legion's Landing over, which is sweet. The question is, do I want to throw this away to get an extra point of damage in? I think I do. What is auto chess, by the way? I've seen, it seems like all the flavor of the month type streamers that play card games have jumped over to that one. Is it like Artifact that doesn't suck, basically?
Face me, and from the will of many.
It's nothing like a card game. No, it still sucks. I've heard it's the next Dota and then it's a mod that's good enough to be its own standalone game. Yeah, I've heard that from people too. And it's been the feedback that I've heard from a lot of people. They think it could be the next game that becomes its own standalone game. Oh, it's a tower defense game? You know, honestly, with how popular those custom maps always were in the Warcraft and StarCraft 2 days when I played them, and SC1 too, honestly. I'm surprised there aren't more, like, dedicated tower defense games.
Notice I didn't say fair. Just send us away.
Yeah, I saw the Twitch Rivals event. One of the Tempo Storm folks that's been streaming a bunch of that game that was playing in it. So I can do this. I can do this. Huatli's gonna charge this one up. Are they dead? I think they're dead if I attack with everything, right? Oh no. Oh no. I think there's a way where I could have attacked all, but I think I missed it at this point. Yeah, so if they block here and here, they take 6, 7, 8. So they block a 7 and a 2, they die. I'll play at least one more match here, see if we can queue into something that's more of a meta deck, see how this fares. So far, we've beaten mono blue in a couple of starter decks, it feels like. Game music sounds fine here, Soul Controller. I think I did my second restart already. Yeah, I did. We should be good. Thanks everyone for hanging out. This is gonna be my last match of the day. I'm gonna be taking the entirety of the weekend off. I'm gonna be taking all the weekends off between now and when War of the Spark releases. So I'll be back on Monday about 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Just one more reminder, if you're one of my wonderful subs and you haven't done so already, please fill out the sub survey that you got emailed. Check your spam folder. If you don't find that there, pop on into the subs Discord and it's pinned in the general chat. While I am going to be taking... This hand is great. 1, 2, 3... while I am going to be taking weekends off moving forward, I think I'm going to do 1 day a week where I run late. Looking at my historical data, Mondays seem to be my highest watch day. So I think I'm going to probably plan to do like a 10-hour Monday and then do 6 to 7 hours for the other 4 days a week. So do I history here or do I Legion Warboss? I think I want a Legion Warboss just because it doesn't get countered. Anything you change to the red-black aggro list on your site? I would not, like Amash. The only deck that's currently on my website that I have a note that I need to update is the 4-color Gates deck. I need to make some edits too, but everything else is current. For the most part, all the decks on there are living pages, and I update them as they need updates. The survey is in your email, as well as pinned in the general chat in the subs Discord. Huh, that's a Huatli. What am I doing here? Is there a good way for newish players to evaluate how to go about making edits to decks? The thing I always recommend is being problem solution based. When you're going to make changes, especially to an established deck, you should always be asking yourself the question, what problem does this deck have that I'm making changes to, and how do I fix that problem by making changes to the deck? You know, there's so many cards in Magic that fit into every strategy reasonably that you can just play lots of different things. So you want to be trying to find an issue that you have and then work towards solving it. They are being super defensive here, which is probably smart, honestly. Do you have a spell pierce?
Let's end this foolish tale before it begins, huh? From the will of many, the might of one.
From the will of many, the might of one. This one is big chunky goblin. This might induce them to attack in the Huatli this turn, especially with the History of Benalia popping off. Oh, am I dead? Not yet. We're pretty close to dead. If they don't have a counterspell, the heroic reinforcements might kill them next turn. We're probably going to come up a little bit short in this race. Well, if they swing out, they're dead, assuming they have nothing. Like, they have 3 cards in their hands. Like, they could have more blockers, they could have Merfolk Trickster, they could have Spell Pierce. You know, they could have Wizard's Retort. Lots of play and counterplay here. It's a real shame we don't have a lifelink token. Alright, so if I heroic reinforcements, they go block, block, and they take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I guess I just do this, huh? And I shocked in so I can beat Spell Pierce. This is worse against Merfolk Trickster though, right? So if they have Merfolk Trickster, I could have made an extra token here. So we're not beating Merfolk Trickster. I didn't use the Huatli because it just doesn't matter. Because whatever I put the Huatli on, they just block. Oh, I guess it does matter because it would have made one of these smaller things bigger, right? Then they would have had to take a 5. This is 13 still, regardless. But yeah, I should have used the Huatli down tick. Heroic Reinforcements is a messed up Magic card. Beep, beep. Yeah, I agree. It definitely feels like we stole that one a little bit. Actually going to cut the Growth Chamber Guardians. I don't know that I have time to get that going. It's a lot of mana. A lot of other kind of expensive things to clunk up with. Yeah, and I really feel like all things considered, like, the best ways to attack Mono Blue, again, aren't being interactive with it. It's by just straight up racing them a lot of the time. If you have a little bit of interaction mixed in with your race, it's generally ideal too, but overall, like, just attacking a bunch is better than trying to, like, kill all their stuff, because they're really good at protecting their stuff. Is it common for planeswalkers to change colors? You mean like when they print new copies of them? Usually there'll be like a small base set of colors that the planeswalkers kind of drift between depending on where they're at in the story. Gosh, the spells in this hand are really good. If we draw a Temple Guard in here, this hand's absurd. So, something I always avoid on this channel, Soul Controller, is that trying to rank deck lists based on tiers is kind of arbitrary and meaningless in Magic the Gathering, because we don't really have large sources of objective data, and what someone defines as tier 1 versus tier 2 is different person to person, because those also aren't really defined terms. So, like, unless you have, like, a system to work within, it really doesn't make sense to try and classify things a lot of the time, in my opinion. Isn't tier the amount they're played? Sure, some people define it that way, but we don't know how much something's played. We don't have that data. It doesn't exist for Magic. Other people tell you the tier is how much it puts up results in the top 8s of tournaments. Yeah, there is a red-white Ajani. There's a green-white Ajani, too. Yeah, oh, so what Rich is saying is that there's always a base color for the Planeswalker. Like, it's always this plus something else, if there's a something else. Very disciplined for my opponent, not taking the bait on the Instigator. Waiting for the more powerful card to come down to counter. It's a good play on their part. Drawing 2 cards a turn, it's very difficult for them to, very unlikely for them to not have a counterspell. I think I just have to play this and hope for the best at this point. Yeah. I'm gonna attack with these and flip the Legion's Landing over. I gain 1 and go to 9. Oh, am I dead? Attacking with my red creatures leaves me dead, right? Because my green creatures can't block Surge Mare, so they go pump Surge Mare to 4, hit me for 9 exactly. I don't think we have outs here regardless, so I think I just hope they miss that, and then maybe we draw Heroic Reinforcements. Alright, they missed lethal, God bless. There's a good chance Heroic Reinforcements doesn't resolve, but if it does, we attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so we're still dead. Good to know that they didn't recognize the Surge Mare. Was unblockable though, so we've got that going for us. Alright, last game of the day. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Hope everyone has a great start to your weekend. I will be back on Monday. Remember, if you're looking for more Magic content from me over the weekend, my YouTube channel is a great resource for that. Yeah, see, it's great. Turn 1 Legion Landing, turn 2 Migration, get it flipped over. We dropping on Matt today? If Matt's live, we'll probably host that direction, yep. I want to attack before I play the Saproling Migration, because if they know Migration is coming, there's a chance that they block here, so I can't flip this next turn. Thanks, Simone. Yeah, I always promise when people submit decks that I play a minimum of 2 matches with each deck, and usually I try to play each deck for at least 45 minutes. This one Shalai has been real good. Don't we want them to block because we have Warboss? No, I want to flip the Adanto so I can get Shalai down ASAP just like this. So I get to history plus elf here. And then if I draw a land next turn, I get to start activating Shalai. They have another Jin here. That attack's pretty aggressive. It feels like I have to have a second Jin as a follow-up. Alright, so I'm gonna start with this, I think. We have a Merfolk Trickster. I think we just have to race here, right? So they can, like, triple stack Shalai. I think this is right. Oh, they could have dive down here, right? They don't. Okay, that's good for me. I think I like killing all the flyers. As many flyers as possible. There's the land that would have let Shalai pop off. I'm gonna start by entering combat, seeing if I get to just attack with everything. Like one of your finest beep beeps, please. I'm not sure if this attack is good enough. It appears to be good enough. Alright, so we ended up going 4-1. We beat Mono Blue twice, then we beat some kind of starter decks twice. I don't know that I would count those too much. Thoughts on what was going on here? Huatli was actually really good on a number of occasions. I was actually kind of impressed with what she had going on in some situations. Growth Chamber Guardian was kind of awkward. Like, I felt like we had a lot to do with our mana in a lot of situations, and this card, I just didn't have the extra mana to, like, spend time adapting it. Shalai was also very good at our top end a number of times, especially considering, like, we have 24 lands, and we have Llanowar Elves, and we have Legion's Landing for flipping, so I feel like this is another card I wouldn't mind another copy of. I also wouldn't mind Conclave Tribunals being in my deck. So I think, what would I do? I honestly kind of like the idea of more Goblin Instigators and another Shalai. Making my way towards 1 year. Drox, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I feel like Conclave Tribunal is a card that I wouldn't mind exploring, especially with all of our 2-mana things. A couple of people mentioning Tithe Taker. That card doesn't seem unreasonable as well. It's just a very good Magic the Gathering card. If you're not going to fit Conclave Tribunal in the main, you probably want Tithe Taker over Emmara, just because this card's kind of awkward when you don't have anything to tap it with. As far as the sideboard goes, I definitely think cutting Conclave Tribunal for Baffling End was a mistake on my part, and I would want some amount of Conclave Tribunal back in here. Like, maybe go down to 2 ends and get 3 to 4 Conclave Tribunal in here over some other stuff. Any rate, that's going to wrap up for me for today. Remember, if you want more content from myself, be sure to check out my website and my YouTube channel. A couple of people mentioned Loxodon. I'm not sure if Loxodon's as good when I don't have as many white creatures with the way this deck is heading. So, I will be back Monday morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully, catch all of y'all then. Thanks for the support. Thanks for subs and resubs as always. And everybody have a great weekend. For those of you that would prefer to stay on Twitch as opposed to checking out my YouTube stuff, I'm going to go ahead and give someone else streaming Constructed Host. Looks like Maddie is currently online, so I'm going to send y'all his way.